Greetings everyone, my name is Jonathan Bailey and I am from the website Plagiarism Today, which can be found at plagiarismtoday.com. Happy Wednesday, September 12th. That is iPhone announcement today. I'm not really expecting anyone to look at this. I'm kind of rushing to do this video first thing after I wake up and hoping that it'll actually reach my YouTube channel like an hour before the iPhone announcement starts at noon local time. Keeping fingers crossed. On that note, if I don't seem like my usual bright-eyed, bushy-tailed self today, it's because I frankly did not get a lot of sleep last night. And the reason for that is, well, I'm going to explain the reason why for that, but it starts kind of with an ethical quandary. But I should clarify that I'm a night owl by nature. I know, big shock, right? Who saw that one coming? Yes, I'm a night owl by nature, so working daytime hours like I have to do is very, very confusing to me in my body. So I have enough trouble sleeping as is. But when my mind gets going on something and I'm thinking about something and I just can't shut it off, it doesn't matter. And the result of it is I don't sleep. So the point of this is I didn't sleep much last night. And the reason it started with an ethical quandary that I was in. You see, over the weekend, I discovered a very prominent site in the copyright and plagiarism, we'll just say, we'll use "or" because even though it's a copyright site, I want to pretend like I'm not trying to designate the site. I'm not trying to, really. But I found out that they were using a statistic in a very poor way. Basically, they were the number they had in their article was very eye-popping and would definitely prove their point if it were remotely true. But the problem is they were using outdated information and they were using it in a very misleading way. And I'm kind of used to that. I'm actually very sadly used to that on the internet. But this was a site I had and I guess still have a lot of respect for. And they typically do some pretty good reporting. I might not agree with them and everything they say, but when it comes to the reporting and to the information, they tend to do a pretty good job. And so to see this in the catch, this kind of caught me off guard, but I brushed it aside as a mistake. And then as I was doing the research for yesterday's PT article, I found they had reused the exact same research in the exact same way in a lot of other articles that I must have just simply missed. Because I don't necessarily read everything they post. I don't necessarily read everything any site posts these days, it seems. Everybody's posting like crazy out there. I'm missing as much as I'm seeing. So the point of the matter is, I found out they've really been abusing the statistic, and I started going into detective mode. I had my evidence against it. I could show where the falsehood was. I could show this and that, and I had this really cool video idea prepared. I was going to come on here and show you and pop up in flashes and all that stuff, all that information. But as I was going to sleep last night, I was struck with an ethical quandary. And the ethical quandary was, if I were the one with the bad information, would I want someone to do that? And of course the answer was no. That's an obvious answer. If I make a mistake on PT, I would appreciate it if you or someone else came to me and directed me the information, provided proof to the contrary, and gave me a chance to make it right. Because until I am proved otherwise, I have to assume that this is a mistake. A repeated mistake, but a mistake. And that's what I'm going to do. Is actually I'm going to email them a little bit later today about this, and I'm going to trust that this site, which has earned my respect through good reporting, will do the right thing, and that this is all just, you know, a tempest in a teapot, and I was sweating bullets last night about absolutely nothing. But that got me thinking about another thing. See, after all that, I was like, okay, I've still got 6 hours, time to get some sleep. But then my brain started wrapping around another question, which is, why would a site that has dedicated itself to doing good reporting be so tempted by these statistics that they wouldn't significantly or question them at all, really? I mean, it's not a matter of significantly questioning them, it's questioning them at all, at the end of the day. Why would they do that? And the answer came down to one word: narrative. I don't know if you've noticed this, if you're in copyright and or plagiarism, mostly copyright though. Nearly every site on the topic on the internet has a narrative. They have a story they're trying to tell, a political agenda they're trying to promote, and that, like I said, that political agenda is wrapped around a narrative, sort of a version of the copyright situation today that they believe they should be promoting and telling, a story they're trying to give to their readers. And that's a problem, because the truth of the matter is the situation out there with copyright, or anything else for that matter, but especially with copyright, is it doesn't fit a simple narrative. The great historian and the great vlogger John Green, part of the Vlog Brothers, also Crash Course World History, routinely says, and this is one of my favorite quotes of all time, truth resists simplicity. And so a simple, easy, composed narrative that fits a nice story that you can conveniently, convey to readers over and over and over again doesn't tell anywhere near the full picture. And all these sites have a narrative, and they have a narrative and they're trying to promote it. And the good sites sort of keep the narrative in the back seat. They keep that narrative somewhere hidden. They keep it in the opinion pieces, and that's that. But some sites, and not naming them, the ones I don't respect as much, have a tendency of putting the narrative in the news, how they cover the news, and everything they do has to fit that narrative. And when they get information that's contrary to it, they either have to immediately debunk it, or they have to present it in a way that still fits the narrative. And it's very, very frustrating when trying to get good, solid copyright news. But that also, in turn, got me thinking. Now I'm down to like 4 hours of sleep, by the way. And it's like, now I'm really wondering if I'm ever going to get to sleep. Another question pops into my brain, and it's a difficult one. What is the narrative for plagiarism today? What is my narrative? What am I trying to do? And I wrestled with that one for a long time. Because when I founded Plagiarism Today 7 years ago, almost to the day, by the way, completely missed the 7-year anniversary, thanks to Hurricane Isaac. Screw you, pal. But when I founded it, I didn't have a narrative in mind. I had a goal, and that was to take small content creators, people that might not know much about copyright law, what their rights are, how they can defend it, and I wanted to provide them help. I wanted to give them assistance. And that's how Plagiarism Today got started, a very simple idea. But helping someone truly does not mean pushing forward a political agenda. It means giving information, it means giving robust and complete analysis, and it means, providing the facts as they are given to me to the best of my abilities. I'm not saying I am perfect, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but I'm saying I at least try, and I'm not here to promote an angle or a narrative. I'm here to give the information as I see it, and that observation, that viewpoint is very complicated. Because people are constantly asking me, Jonathan, are you with the RAAA? Are you with the EFF? Are you with these guys? Are you with that guy? And the answer is, do you have a week? My viewpoints are very complex, very intricate, and if you want me to side with one side or the other, give you a one-word answer to what I think, you're going to have a bad time, to quote the meme. You're going to be very disappointed with the answer you get. So, I guess if I were going to say that Plagiarism Today has a narrative, I'm going to recycle John Green's saying. I'm going to say the narrative of Plagiarism Today is that truth resists simplicity, and that if you want simple answers to it, you're not going to find them here. I'm not giving simple answers. That's not what I specialize in. That's not what I do. If you want simple answers, there are plenty of other sites to go to. This is why I write 1,000 plus word articles. This is why I do very lengthy pieces. This is why I cover 3 copyright news stories per day. This is why I do these things, because the narrative of copyright law, as I see it, is extremely complicated, with lots of ins and outs, lots of very valid but conflicting opinions, and lots of differing ideals. So yeah, that's my narrative for Plagiarism Today. Truth resists simplicity. Thank you, John Green. Thank you, Nerd Fighters. I'm stealing that, by the way, for the duration of Plagiarism Today. Not really stealing. It's a phrase. It's not really much of a narrative. But so next time someone asks me what the narrative for Plagiarism and where I'm coming from, what my angle is, I think that's what I'm going to throw at them. I think that's the absolute best way to describe how I feel and what I do. So anyways, that's my rant for the day. I've already gone way over what I intended. It's 9 minutes. So until tomorrow, this is Jonathan Bailey signing off. Enjoy your iPhone announcement, everyone.